This rebrand took them 7 years. 7 years and $1 million for a logo that looks like ChatGPT generated it. It looks like if you went to ChatGPT and asked it to generate a logo for an autism awareness nonprofit, that's what it would give you. All right, rebrands have been in the news lately. And of course, we all remember the great Cracker Barrel rebrand of 2025, which lasted about 45 minutes or so before they started backtracking. And as we talked about at the time, Cracker Barrel is not alone. Many companies have rebranded in the same way, and it's always the same kind of thing, where they go from a very distinct look, a very distinct feel and aesthetic, to something generic and soulless. And that's always the rebrand strategy, right? As it turns out, it's not just companies that do this. Cities are getting in on the action too. The city of Austin is doing a big rebrand, and they've decided to get rid of the city seal and the logo that's been their official brand for, although they wouldn't have called it a brand, 100 years ago. But this is for 100 years now. They've had this city seal, the city logo. And reading now from the Statesman, it says, amid a swarm of online criticism, city officials unveiled a new logo this week as part of a broader strategic modernization effort meant to help residents more easily identify city workers, facilities, and services. City Manager T.C. Broadnax said in a statement, "We want our community members to be able to identify members of our team as City of Austin employees and trust the services we provide. Whether they see the brand on a website, a utility bill, a street sign, or the side of a vehicle, they'll know exactly who it's from and what it stands for." The new logo will replace the city seal currently displayed on trucks, uniforms, and other property. Designed in 1916 by a San Francisco illustrator for a flag design contest, the seal is not a brand and does not promote the city's distinctive values and mission, the city said in a news release. So they are, and then the article goes on, people are very upset about this, people don't like it. But they're getting rid of the old logo because it's not a brand. And they want a brand, is what they're saying. Well, let's take a look at the new logo. Here it is. You can see it there on the screen. It's a kind of a squiggly A. That's the logo. And people don't like it. And you can see why. September being National Preparedness Month got me thinking, when I'm out on the trails with my family, I'm always prepared, extra water, checking the weather, the whole deal. That mindset should carry over to home preparedness too. If a storm knocked out power for a week tomorrow, how ready would most families really be? The reality is, a lot of people have maybe 3 days of food that doesn't need refrigeration. That's not the kind of margin any of us want when it comes to our families. That's why My Patriot Supply is making it easy for you to be prepared with their Preparedness Month Mega Kit. They're basically giving away over $1,500 worth of emergency supplies, a full year of emergency food, water filtration system, solar backup generator, and more. Being prepared isn't just smart, it's what we owe our families. And when someone's making it this easy to get started, it feels like it's the right time to finally get serious about all this stuff. So if you go to mypatriotsupply.com/Walsh, you can get 90 preparedness essentials totaling over $1,500 absolutely free. Head to mypatriotsupply.com/Walsh for full details. That's mypatriotsupply.com/Walsh. And before we comment on this or give it a review, let's first compare it to the old city seal. This is the one they're getting rid of. They've had it since 1916, and you can see it there. And the old logo is great. It's regal, it's historic, it feels imposing, it feels proud, it feels stately, it feels impressive. You see that logo and you think, you want to visit that place. It's like something you see on a flag if you went to a jousting match in medieval Europe. That's like something that'd be waving outside of an enormous stone fortress. It's great. And then you see the new logo, and that looks like a logo you'd see on packaging behind the pharmacy counter at Rite Aid. Okay, it looks like a brand of Alzheimer's medication. And just so you kind of see it in its natural environment, here's the city manager unveiling the new logo very proudly and wearing it on his chest. Watch.
The city will be getting a new look. For the first time in Austin's history, we will have a logo to represent the city's services and unify us as one organization, one Austin. We will go from this to this. While this effort began before I arrived as city manager, it is a project I was glad to champion.
We will go from this to this, he says. We'll go from this awesome thing to this absolute bullcrap. And you can see the logo on his shirt there. And I mean, he really looks like he works at a bank or something. He looks like he works at something called Austin Financial. He looks like he's about to give your teenager a student loan with a 12% interest rate. It really is awful. And it's even worse when I tell you that this rebrand took them 7 years. 7 years and more than $1 million. 7 years and $1 million for a logo that looks like ChatGPT generated it. It looks like if you went to ChatGPT and asked it to generate a logo for an autism awareness nonprofit, that's what it would give you. So it's really terrible stuff. But hey, at least it's modern, right? And modern is very important. I mean, you wouldn't want a logo that has history. You know, you don't want history. That's yucky. That's ew. Who wants history? The old logo was based on the family crest of Stephen F. Austin, who's the father of Texas. But, you know, he lived a really long time ago. And plus, he was white. So we got to do away with that, of course. Go from something with history and meaning to something that means absolutely nothing at all. And that kind of tells you where we are culturally, that the word modern almost always is a stand-in for meaningless. To make something modern is to make it meaningless. Anytime you hear that they've taken something, whether it's a logo or a film franchise, anything at all, and they've taken it and they've modernized it, it means that they have taken all of the meaning out of it. They've also taken the beauty and the aesthetic appeal, but all of that is wrapped up in meaning. They've taken the meaning out of it and replaced it with nothing. That's what it always means. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.